141 yards. He had Broyles to Iglesias and Manuel Johnson and Grisham. Four really talented targets for Sam Bradford. Former OU quarterback Josh Heupel, the quarterback coach, talking with Bradford along with Bob Stoops.
Jimmy Stevens back on. It is 14-3. Up tempo. Wow. A lovely, lovely day in Dallas. 14-3. Sooners lead the Longhorns. Moreland, the ball on the tee for the Sooners. Return from the 5-yard line is Shipley. Big hole. Shipley. End zone ahead, folks. Touchdown, Longhorns. There is one flaw with this Oklahoma team, and it is their special teams. Colt McCoy's roommate took matters into his own hands that time. That's his 8th touchdown overall of the season. 96 yards. Hunter Lawrence tacks on the extra point. Game on in Bigdy. Pull up a chair, folks. This one's going to get real interesting.
ESPN College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Best Buy. You happier. Nissan, passionate about performance and proud sponsor of the Heisman Trophy. And Aflac. Ask about it at work.
3 million in attendance expected here to the State Fair of Texas, which will extend on into mid-October. Started back earlier this month. And interested bystanders. It's about time us rascals got one of the end zone down there. He said, Mr. Shipley, with his first kickoff return ever for a touchdown, and Bevo enjoyed that very much. This is going to be returned from the 12-yard line. Iglesias thought about lateraling, and ball was taken out of his hands as he was going down, I believe. And let's go back to
Be careful. Well, let's go back to the play, and special teams in these kind of games typically means so much. Look at the wedge right in the middle. And what a great job here by Ogbonnaya and also Eddie Jones picking up the block. And then for Shipley, it's just a matter of hitting that crease and then beating the kicker with tremendous quickness. But it was all set up by a nice job there by the wedge at creating a seam for Shipley to hit.
Inside handoff to Murray, stopped at the line of scrimmage. And let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. We want to show you the two quarterbacks because, of course, we're going to be focusing on them all day long. You can see that Bradford has the upper hand, but the better roommate award right now goes to the Texas quarterback.
There's no doubt. The big difference is the rushing yards and the touchdowns. Those are the two things that right now are the difference between the quarterbacks.
Fake the end around, roll the pocket out, hit Murray in underneath. And he's a yards short of that first down marker. McElroy,
same exact
player.
Sorry, Brent, the same exact play that allowed Murray to pick up a big gain early in this game, where he came out, snuck out into the flat off of the fake reverse, and went down the sidelines for about 35 yards. Texas
timeout is called by the defense.
Enough of that high-octane offense. We need to get a timeout. Catch our breath.
Muschamp, of course, was the defensive coordinator at Auburn last year. And time for our Aflac trivia question. Yeah, the Duck says, okay, Kirk.
You got me last week with the state.
What is Mac Brown's connection to Oklahoma?
I know
Gave
that.
you a layup this
I know
week.
that.
Gave you a layup.
I know that.
Don't give it away.
Okay.
There might be a couple people out there who don't know the answer.
Okay. I'll give you the decade. Is that a good hint?
That's good. There's Mac, his wife Sally, over in the booth right next to us. Of course, they were up at Colorado last week, and Sally was out hiking and broke her arm. Arm's in a cast, but she's recovering nicely. They're rooting for the Longhorns. Matt Clapp and now Chris Brown in that backfield on a 3rd and 1. They check with Kevin Wilson to see what he wants to do. Brown behind the fullback. Big crease for the first down. Let's go to Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
All right, Brent, time for a Taco Bell studio update. Kansas has won 12 straight in Lawrence, but Colorado's gotten the jump. Cody Hawkins and Cody Crawford with the Buffs take advantage of a short Kansas punt. They lead 7-0 there. Minnesota 7-3 up on Illinois as they approach halftime in Champaign.
All right, Matt, and here Bradford on the play action is sacked for the first time, and he's brought down by you-know-who, folks. There is a great defensive lineman. That, of course, Brian Orakpo, the senior from Houston.
He's finally healthy, and we're seeing what a healthy Orakpo can do. There's the matchup we talked about. Lone Holt with the size, but not the lateral quickness, and Orakpo goes with an inside move, and what speed to get upfield and get after Bradford.
Yeah, there's a 300-plus pounder who didn't move his feet. 2nd and 19 as a result. Drop in that middle screen underneath Emmanuel Johnson. He is ridden down by Dion Beasley.
This offense picks up chunks of yardage so quickly. Little jailbreak screen. We've seen Johnson have a lot of success with that play specifically, picking up huge yards, and all of a sudden 2nd long moves to 3rd and short.
Stands tall in the pocket, has all day, and wide open is Gresham. Headed end zone. Touchdown, Sooners. How about that for a downfield tight end? That's 52 yards.
Well, this is broken coverage by Texas. You see the young safety that time, Earl Thomas, jumping up on the underneath route, and they lost focus on Grisham. Broken coverage all alone, and then the big fella shows the speed to get to the end zone. That's sometimes the casualty of having 2 freshman safeties in the lineup for the Texas Longhorns.
Jimmy Stevens adds the extra point. Didn't take him long to get it back, did it? And looks like we've got a penalty flag down there by the line of scrimmage.
After the play had ended, personal foul. Defense number 95, hands to the face. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So, tacks on the extra point and then the penalty. Double whammy for the Longhorns, huh? We'll be right back. State Fair at Texas. Not everybody's on the inside, huh? And here it's 21-10, and how about Sam Bradford? 3 touchdown passes here today for number 14. Watch this offense, and you really ask yourself, can anybody slow these guys up? He's 14 of 16 for 210 yards, and those 3 scores we mentioned.
Just when it looked like Texas was defensively containing Bradford, putting pressure on Bradford, couple series later, you put those numbers up.
And that penalty, of course, takes Shipley out of it. They'll be kicking it off from the 45-yard line. You would think this would be a touchback. So much for that, and back we go to the TD.
Well, Manuel Johnson is on the outside, moving to the inside. And when he does that, what you're going to see is the big fella right here. He's going to move to the corner. The confusion by Texas comes from the backfield, the defensive backfield. Right there, the safety jumps up. And by doing that, also the linebacker comes up. Now you've got three guys covering Manuel Johnson and a tight end who maybe is the best target Oklahoma has, all by himself in the back part of that secondary. A mental error there for the Longhorns.
First down handoff. John Childs back on the field, the backup quarterback. And, all right, Aflac trivia time. Tell us about Mack Brown, his connection to OU.
I'm going to go back to 1984, I believe, where Mack Brown was coaching for the Sooners and working with a backup quarterback by the name of Troy Aikman.
Exactly. There's the staff. Head man Barry Switzer. Pay attention to the camera last time, Mac.
Come on, Mac. Boy, those teams in the 80s, talk about high octane. Oklahoma, they would put 80 on you in a hurry.
He was there only 1 year. Penalty flag is thrown on the play. Pass is complete, but again, there is a penalty.
Had a free play there. Like Oklahoma, Clayton getting a little ahead of himself on the blitz.
Offside. Defense number 22. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
During breaks, we keep talking about how important it is for Mack Brown's offense to come up with big plays. They got the big kickoff return, but now this offense, pinned back deep in their own territory, they've got to come up with a drive. They've got to come up with points against this Oklahoma defense because the Sooners are scoring right now at will offensively.
It's Kirkendall in motion, number 11. Another flag penalty.
Horns may have given this one back. I don't know. Movement on both sides.
Prior to the snap, offside. Defense number 96 with the 5-yard penalty. First down.
Marcus Granger back in playing after missing a couple games with an injury. A little anxious on that side of the football right now. There's Granger.
Obanaya thrown for a loss by that defense, and Travis Lewis, the redshirt freshman from San Antonio, makes the stop.
This is one of these Oklahoma defenses that you've got to be able to run right at them or throw the football right at them. If you try to bounce it against this speed that we see now from these linebackers, Travis Lewis on one side, Keenan Clayton on the other, and Ryan Reynolds right in the middle, they move too well. I'm talking about 4.5 and 4.40 speed from these outside linebackers.
Second and 11. Completes it to his roommate, and he gets across that first down marker. Jordan Shipley. He has the Horns touchdown on that kickoff return.
Quarterbacks and receivers that are roommates always seem to be in sync, don't they? Hours and hours of coaches aren't around, other teammates aren't around in May and June and July, and you just throw day after day, and you get into a very comfortable rhythm, and you can see Colt McCoy and Jordan Shipley definitely have that.
Bluff on the blitz. McCoy snaps it off short, goes back to Shipley. Dominique Franks, the corner, the defender for OU.
That's a nice job there by Greg Davis. Again, going with the look that they haven't shown a lot of this year. 4 wide receivers. They put Shipley right in the slot. They forced Oklahoma to go with a safety in the middle of the field. And when you do that, there are a lot of openings in that zone.